So we're going to begin in a seated position, and I'd like you to really sit comfortably. So if that means you're on a pillow or a block, no worries. Don't worry about, how it looks. Just let's be more interested in how it feels, right? So we tend to judge ourselves harshly. Try not to do that in your yoga practice if you can, because then you just build some negative stuff rather than positive stuff, right? So as you sit here, I want you just to feel, if you can, both sits bones against the floor or whatever is beneath you. Lengthen the spine. And then let your hands rest. Palms down or up to you. Up is more receptive, down is more grounding, on your legs or lap. And feel free to close your eyes here. We're just going to do about 5 minutes of pranayam, 5 minutes of breathing, so that we start to settle the mind, right? Breath control equals mind control, equals emotional control, equals energetic and physical control. So when we can control the breathing, we can control so much about our experience of life, right? So just a little bit of breathing so that we can really tune in and explore the inner world. So as the eyes close, things darken, you limit all those visual distractions, and you can just begin to tune in. And then before you even do anything with your breathing, just notice it. If you can close the lips or rest the tongue at the top of the mouth, allow all the breath just to flow in and out of the nose. It is the healthier way to breathe. If that's not available to you, change it. Right? Like with any suggestion I make today, change it in a way that serves you. It's all good. Notice the length of the breath, the cadence of the breath, and the quality of the breath. Notice if there's a pause between the inhale and exhale, or if one just flows into the other. Good, and now consciously, if you can, relax the closed eyes, the jaw, and the shoulders. And then we're going to just take 2 cleansing, clearing breaths. So all through the nose, a full breath in. Through the nose, release it. And notice, if you can, how the shoulders might relax a little more. The face might soften a little more. And one more like that. When you're empty, a full, smooth breath in. As comfortably full as possible. And let it all flow out. Allowing yourself to soften and settle a little bit more. Good. And now we're going to breathe in to the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. And out for the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Once more like that. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. We're going to make the pauses a little longer. So inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 2, 3, 4. In. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Relax. 2, 3, 4. Release. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, relax. 2, 3, 4. Continue on your own. It's called Samavriti, balancing the breath. And I want you just to notice what happens on these holds of breath at the top of the inhale, what happens at the bottom of the exhale. So just noticing what's happening internally. Right, without judging, without criticizing. Right? Sometimes there's discomfort or fear or emotion show up. It's okay, make space for it all. And if this count is too long or too short for you, feel free to change it in a way that suits you. And just see if you can stay relaxed throughout. So it's a comfortable length of the inhalation, the holding, the exhalation, and the holding empty. And just notice the difference of the 4 different parts of the breath. We'll just do it for about 30 more seconds. So that's probably just 2 more cycles. Notice if any tension crept into the face in any way, let it soften. And now just 2 more cleansing, clearing breaths. So a full breath in, really big, really spacious. Pause momentarily. And then let it all go as you settle and soften once more. Wait till all the breath is empty. Last time like that, a full, really sweet, spacious inhalation. And just pause when you're full so that you can notice. And as the breath falls out, let tension fall out and dissipate with it. Wait until you're all the way empty here, and then just take an inhale for the count of 4 and an exhale for the count of 4 without the pauses in between. If you want a little gentle temporary pause, that's fine, so that we find this pace and rhythm of breathing that will carry us through our practice now. Good, and then see if you can hold on to whatever pace and rhythm you've chosen. Notice the breath's quality, notice the quality of the mind and the body, right? Breathing really helps to bring us into present moment awareness. With the breath flowing just like that, feel free to reopen your eyes if they were closed. Take a couple circles for the shoulders. Do anything with your head that feels good. Just coming back into your body. Right? Hopefully released a little bit of energetic, emotional, or physical tension with that. And then we're going to just come forward to hands and knees. So getting there any way you like. And in today's practice, I'm going to offer you challenges. I'm going to offer you opportunities to back off of those challenges, right? So you just really find your way here. Palms are flat beneath shoulders. Knees are beneath hips, and we're just going to cat-cow 3 times. So as the belly drops, you're going to pull the chest forward a little, lift the sit bones, inhaling. And then as you exhale, you're going to round the back. So top of the head faces the floor, dome the middle back. And then again, coming forward as you inhale, widening the collarbones, lifting those sit bones. Rounding it as you exhale. You may separate the shoulder blades, pull the navel in and really press into the floor. And last time, if you want to add any spirals or circles with the hips or head, go for it. Just to kind of loosen up. And then we'll come back to that little cow pose where the belly drops, the heart pulls forward, the shoulders draw back, wide collarbones. From here, we'll tuck the toes under and hover the knees up and back for downward dog. So the sit bones are still pointing up and back. Readjust the feet if you need to, pedal the knees or wiggle the head, right? Just soften into the shape. And because we tend to be, as humans, a little bit self-critical, we push ourselves a little too far sometimes. I'm just going to suggest and invite you to make this sweet, to back off where things get a little intense, to keep the breath at the forefront of the mind so that you can notice when things get a little too much, too intense. Usually when that happens, we'll hold the breath. It won't flow as smoothly. So let the breath flow smoothly in each position, through each transition, so that you stay connected and calm, and that you build this muscle of inner peace. Good. The heels are dipping, the hips are lifting, the hands are pressing, the head is hanging, and you're breathing. Ideally to that count of 4 in and 4 out, but again, your pace is fine. From down dog, we're just going to Shift forward to the plank pose. So you're going to come to the tippy toes and shift forward. Now, if you need to readjust the feet so the shoulders are over the wrists. I'm going to draw the navel in. Try not to let the head droop. Face lifts away from the floor. And then you're just going to hover the right foot off the floor, just an inch or two. Feel free to spin around the ankle here. Feel the left thigh turn on most likely. And set the right foot back down and lift the left foot. Spin the ankle if you like. Engage that right leg. Keep the breath flowing. Set the left foot down. Go ahead, take a breath in. And then downward dog. As your exhale, hips pull back. Good. Lifting both heels, we're going to bend the knees, pull the hips away from the hands, long, strong arms looking forward. When you're ready, just walk to the top of your yoga mat. When you get there, come halfway up, flat back, inhale. Hands to shins is great. Fold as you exhale, hang your head. A little bend in the knees might be kind of nice here. If you want to sway or clasp elbows, go for that. Good. And then releasing the hands out and up, bend the knees, press and rise. Inhale, reach up. Hands to the heart, exhale. So here we are standing at the front of our mats, shoulders back, belly in, stand tall. Close your eyes for just a moment to tune in. Notice your breathing, notice your body, notice the distribution of weight in your feet. Maybe set an intention for your practice this morning if you'd like. On your next breath in, you're going to reach up, take a little sweet stretch. Fold forward as you breathe out, lead with your heart, and then drop your head. Flattening the back as you breathe in, shoulders loop back, belly lifts. Plank pose as you breathe out, hands down, step it back. Take a breath in when you get there. And easily lower to the floor as you breathe out. That might mean knees drop first. When you land, just roll up to a gentle cobra pose on the inhale. Hips are down, heart is lifting. And roll back down as you exhale. One more time on the cobra. Inhale up with the heart. Gaze slightly forward, elbows in. Curl under the toes, downward dog. Exhale. You can go from bent knees to dog or from plank to dog. You can go into child's pose if you prefer. Good. Breathe. On the next breath in, we're going to lift up the right foot behind us. We're going to turn the right toes out to the right so that hip lifts a little higher. We're going to bend the right knee and aim it up. And then see if you can equal the weight in your hands. Draw the left thigh bone back a little bit. You can spin the right foot around if you like. And then on your next breath out, you're going to shift forward toward plank pose and draw that right knee to the outer right arm, as high as comfortable. Lift the right foot back up as you inhale. Take the right knee to the left arm as you exhale, as high up as you can. Lift the foot back up, inhale, three-legged dog. And then we'll step it to the front of the mat on the exhale near the right hand. You can always carry it up there if you need to. Little bend in the back knee to rise up to crescent pose. So feel free, you guys, to drop the back knee down if you need to. Draw the navel in. We're just going to turn to the right and spread arms. Whoa! If your balance is wobbly, take your right foot further to the right. So keep your right hand reaching back. Look to the left front hand and then draw it back as well. So palms are going to spin up, shoulders are going to drop down, collarbones are going to widen. See if you can bend the back knee more until it grazes the floor. But don't let it touch unless you need it to. Reach up as you breathe in with both hands, and then hands frame the front foot on the mat as you breathe out. Step back, plank pose, inhale, and we'll lower down, exhale, knees or not. One cobra this time, inhale, heart up. Downward dog, exhale. Left foot comes up behind you, three-legged. Turn left toes to the left, so the hip is going to lift. Bend that left knee, aim it upward. Let the right heel dip, let the right thigh draw back. Drop that left armpit a little bit if it lifted. Feel free to spin the foot, spin the head if you need to. Now keep that breath flowing. On your next exhalation, you're going to shift forward toward plank pose. Left knee up to that left shoulder or tricep. Lift it up, three-legged inhale. Left knee over to the right arm. Lift it as high away from the floor as you comfortably can. Lift it back up, three-legged inhale. We'll step it to the top of the mat on the exhale. Close to the left hand is going to help with your balance. Soften the back knee to rise, crescent. And then we'll turn left, spread the arms. Drop the shoulders. Look to the front hand. Draw it back. Palms up, shoulders pull down, heart lifts. And then draw that navel in and sink, 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 sink so the back knee almost touches down. Stay low, reach high, inhaling. Hands come down, exhaling. Plank pose, step it back. Inhale, you can hover that foot if you want to play. Lower down, exhale. Cobra's your inhale. And down dog, exhale. Beautiful. Breathe. Let's separate the feet a little bit wider now. So we're going to play a little bit. And please, you guys, if this is too much, if your breath isn't flowing, you're going to back off. We're just going to take the right hand off the floor. You're going to reach under to the outer left leg, as far down toward the ankle as you comfortably can. The left hand is pressing, the hips are lifting, the head is hanging, the breath is flowing. Yeah. And then we'll do the other side. Right hand comes back to the top of the mat, left hand threads under. All the way down, 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 as close to that outer ankle as possible. Now the hips are going to shift over to the right. So if you can shift them back towards center, do. You can gaze under the right arm. Soften the neck, steady your breath. Left hand comes back to the top of your yoga mat. Bend your knees, lift your heels, look forward, and walk on up. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold as you exhale. Good. Start to bend your knees here. We're going to come to the chair pose. So you can lift all 10 toes if you want. When you're ready, arms float up to chair. Hips low, toes lifting or not. Once the toes lift and the weight shifts into the heels, you can set the toes back down. Good, and then shift the weight into the right foot. We're just going to draw the left knee to the chest without touching it. And you might sink lower into that right leg. You might extend the left leg forward, straightening it. Just play a little bit. Keep that breath flowing, the shoulders soft, the navel in. Bend the left knee back to the chest. Good, you're going to start to hinge forward, reach forward, extend the left foot straight backward, just hip height. So if it's too much to have the hands reaching forward, you can take them out to the sides. You can take them onto the top of the right thigh, or you can take them to the hips if you'd like to help adjust the hips, which I find really useful. So if the hands land on the hips, that left hip turns down, the right hip hugs back. And feel free to reach forward again. Lengthen from lifted heel to fingertips or top of the head. Take one more breath in here. And then hands come down to the floor. Wherever they land is fine. Back foot lifts up as high as comfortable. Drop that head low. Good. Bend the lifted leg. Take the left foot down next to the right foot. Flat back, inhale. And fold forward, exhale. Back to the chair. We're going to bend the knees and lift the hands. Chair pose. Relax the shoulders and face. Steady your breath. Pull the navel in. Relax your toes if you started with them lifted, and then shift the weight into the left foot. Without touching the right knee, you're going to draw it up toward your chest. Then maybe you can sink a little lower in the left leg. Right back off if you can't breathe smoothly. We are meant to challenge ourselves. Extend the right leg forward if you like, so that you learn how to really honor your needs, so that you learn to stay calm when things get a little challenging. It's a big benefit of this yoga practice, so that you're not self-critical. Good, take that knee back to the chest. Start to hinge forward, reach forward if you want. Extend that right leg straight back. Remember, hands to hips is going to help orient the hips. Right hip down a little, left hip back a little. Arms to the sides is going to help with balance. Maybe you prop your heart up by taking the hands to the thigh. Play. Extend the heel away from the top of the head. Soften the eyes. Steady. Feel that wobble, right? If you fall, it's all good. Keep breathing, playing, exploring what happens. Are you critical? Start to fold, hands to the floor. Drop your heavy head. Like really let it go. Lift that back foot as high as comfortable. And then bending the lifted knee. Right foot comes back to the floor. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold in half, exhale. All right, guys, fingers on the floor. Take the feet a little further apart, toes out. We're gonna take a yogi squat malasana. So toes out, hands together at the heart, triceps inside the legs. Slide the shoulders down the back, lengthen the spine, soften the face, maybe close your eyes. Now you can press the triceps against those inner knees. You can hug the knees against the arms. You can pull the pelvic floor muscles up and in. Keep the breath flowing. Beautiful. That's enough of that. Hands can come to the floor. Go ahead and spin the heels out as you straighten the legs so you're in a forward fold, wide-legged. All right, go ahead and take the feet back beneath you if you need to at first, and then we'll step it back to plank pose. Okay, so when you get to your plank pose, we're gonna play again. We're just gonna play again. So I want you to really hug the belly in so that you have core support here. I'm just gonna float the right foot off the floor, just an inch or two. And then if you can, if you wanna play, see if you can lift the left hand off the floor. You might reach it forward. It's not easy to do, right? So we're meant to challenge ourselves and see what happens. You can lift it and set it down and lift it and set it down. And then we'll take the hands and feet back down to plank. All right, other side, left foot floats up. Feel that right thigh turn on, lean into the left hand. Right hand, just lift it and set it down or extend it forward if you can. You might find, like I'm finding, one side's easier than the other. Really hug the core in, steady your breath. Oh, fun. All right, back to plank pose and then downward facing dog. Those are never easy, but they help us to really discover things about ourselves, which I find kind of nice. Let's take the knees down, take a child's pose, because we might need a break after that. Rest the head, steady your breath. It's going to probably be flowing a little faster now because that was challenging. And that's okay. Notice it. All right. From here, we're going to extend the arms forward and come back up to hands and knees. And let's just let go of some tension in the arms after that. So right arm threads under, palm up, lay on the back of that right shoulder, slide it down a little from the ear. You're on the right temple. And the left hand can stay where it is to support you, or you can wrap it around your back to the inner right thigh. I just had a nice little click, release in my neck, yay. Soften the jaw, the eyes, steady your breath. And try to surrender a little here into those exhales so the tension does melt away. All right, left hand back on the floor if you lifted it. Back to center, and then left arm threading under, palm up, shoulder down, away from the ear, lay on that left temple. Keep the right hand on the floor, or change its position if you need, or wrap it. And breathe and soften into the jaw, the shoulders, the neck, the eyes. You probably wouldn't be in this shape if you weren't here on your yoga mat, so take advantage of it. It's a pretty sweet release. Good. Right hand comes back down, and we're back to hands and knees. All right, staying on hands and knees for just a moment. Let's extend the left leg up and back just hip height. Right hand forward, spinal balance. Good. Navel in. Lengthen the lifted limbs apart. And then as you breathe out, you're going to take that lifted knee and the lifted elbow and bring them beneath you. Maybe they touch. Press into the floor, dome your back. Extend the limbs apart. Inhale. Knee to elbow. Exhale, press and dome. Last time, inhale, extending. Exhale, squeeze the breath all the way out. And then we'll inhale, extend, and we'll lift the right hand, we'll bend the back leg, catching the foot to kick it up and back so that right shoulder rolls back a little. Left hand is there supporting you. Look over the right shoulder or down, and breathe. Enjoy the spaciousness of those inhales. Enjoy the emptiness and the relaxation of the exhales. Good, and then we'll let go of the foot and just lengthen the limbs apart, one final breath. And set the hand and knee back down. Good, and then right leg up and back, left hand forward. Good, and find some length there through the lifted limbs. Find a little core support, press into the floor. Find that steady 4-count breath in and out. Good, as you breathe out, knee and elbow come beneath you, really press, round and dome. Lengthen as you breathe in. Knee to elbow. Breathing out, empty completely. Lengthen as you breathe in, feel that fullness at the top. Last time, knee to elbow. Lengthening. Expanding, and then left hand lifts, back knee bends, catch the foot and kick it up and back. And keep the breath flowing, right? Often when we hold the pose, we hold the breath. So can that breath be your anchor? Left shoulder rolls back. Do whatever's comfortable with your head. Keep the breath steady. We'll let it go and come back to center for a final inhalation. And then we'll come back to the hands and the knees. Feel free to circle the head or circle the hips. Right, so I do that because that feels good to me after that sequence. If there's something else that feels good to you, like child's pose, do it. It's your practice. When you're ready, we'll meet in downward dog. Knees hover up and back. Readjust the feet if you need to. Beautiful. Let's float the right foot up and back for 3-legged dog on the inhalation. We'll just step it all the way up to the front of the mat on the exhalation between the hands. Then we'll pivot the back heel flat. We'll lean into the right fingertips and lift up the left hand. Or if you don't want to keep the fingers on the floor, take the elbow onto the thigh. Whatever's more comfortable for you. And then see if you can take that, if it is on the floor, take the right hand inside the right foot. So the right tricep and right knee are pressing against one another. Good, and then this lifted left hand, we're just gonna circle it back, down, and then reach it forward over the ear as we try to spin the heart upward a little bit. Good, and then take that left hand all the way up, spin the palm back and take it behind your back. So if you want, you can wrap the right arm under, clasp the fingers behind you, and spin the heart upward. You can gaze down at the right toes. If it's too much to bind, no worries. Right elbow can stay on the thigh. Right hand can just move over toward that right thigh. Still, you're getting a release on the left side of the neck as you look down at the right toes. And then release the bind. Reach that left hand back and rise on up. Second warrior. And then we'll just reverse the warrior. Inhale, right arm back. Circle the hands to the top of your mat as you exhale. Step back to plank. Maybe you hover the right foot and lower down. Exhale. Cobra, inhale. And down dog, exhale. We'll go right into the second side. Left foot lifts up on the inhale. Step it to the top of your mat as you exhale between the hands. Back foot pivots flat. Lean into left fingers and lift the right. And remember, elbow can come right onto the thigh instead. If the fingers are on the floor, take them inside the foot. Spin the heart up a little, hug that hip back a little, and then this lifted right hand, circle it back. So reach it back toward the floor, and then reach it forward over the ear. Try to spin the heart up by pressing that left knee against the left arm a little. Keep the breath flowing. Keep the back leg straight and strong, and then lift up that right hand. Take it behind your back. That left arm might wrap under to clasp as the heart spins up, or not. Who cares? Right? Maybe the elbow's on the thigh, and that right hand just grazes the top of the left thigh. Either way, widen the collarbones and look down to the left toes so you get a little release on the right side of the neck. Keep that breath flowing. Go ahead and release the bind. Reach the right hand back, rise on up, second warrior, reverse your warrior, inhale. Windmill the hands forward as you exhale. Plank pose, inhale, maybe that left foot hovers, maybe both feet are down, lower, exhale. Cobra pose is your inhalation, and downward dog is your exhalation. Beautiful, you guys. Press into the floor, lift the hips, dip the heels, drop that heavy head. Take a full, sweet breath. As you breathe out, let the knees drop to the earth. Crawl them forward so you can make your way onto your back. When you get to the back, hug the knees to the chest. So I always like to teach a sequence, a class, even though it's a short class, that feels well-rounded, right? So we get a little bit of everything and feel like we have. So that's great. So give the knees a little hug. You might rock a little bit. So good. All right, let's take a happy baby pose. Hands to the edges of the feet or behind the knees there. Bend the knees toward the armpits. Heels can stack over the knees if you like. You can press feet against hands to drop the lower back. Soften the jaw and eyes. Head is resting, breath is flowing. You can rock your baby. Good. And you might, if you have long arms, you might just hook the big toes here and then spread open the legs in a big V shape, right? And if it's not possible to clasp the toes, no worries. Let the hands just support the legs inside or outside, whatever's comfortable. Just let those inner thighs get a nice, sweet little release. Little sweet sensations there, not too much. Good. And then whatever you're holding is fine. Bring the feet together above you. Right? Whether you're touching the toes or legs, it's all good, you guys. Wherever you are is perfect. Good. And then just keep the right foot lifting up. You're going to take the hands behind the right hamstring and you're going to lower the left leg all the way down to the floor. Let it rest. And then press the right leg against those fingers for a moment. Strive to pull the shoulders away from the ears. Pull the right toes down toward the shin. Good. And then pull the right leg toward you any amount. So you get a stretch, a release on that right hamstring. And breathe and soften the eyes and face and jaw. Good. And then you're just going to bend the right knee to the chest. You're going to release the grip of the hands behind it. Left hand comes to the right knee or shin. Right arm opens out to the right. You take a twist. Right knee comes all the way over toward the floor to the left. And then just let that right arm get heavy, the right chest. Release. See if you can relax the hands and feet, the eyes and jaw. And then if you want to take the breath a little longer now, a little more complete, then go ahead and do that. Notice the quality of the breath, the length of each breath. Notice if you want a little pause at the top or bottom. And I'm just going to invite you to make those exhales a little longer, a little more complete. So you're all the way empty of breath and tension. Feel free to sigh one out if that's nice too. And then that left hand can just help bring that right knee back toward the chest when you're ready to roll back to your back. Take the left knee in with it. If you want to rock a little, and then take both feet back up. Good, and then hands are gonna interlace behind the left leg. You're gonna slowly lower that right leg down. Let it land and let it relax. And then press the left leg against the interlaced fingers. So again, the shoulders move away from the ears, but the chin doesn't jet up. Toes flex back. Good. And then using your bicep muscles, your arms, pull that left leg as comfortably close to you as you can, keeping it as straight as comfortable as well, just to release the hamstring. Keep the breath smooth. Beautiful. And then you're going to bend the left knee into the chest. Hold it with the right hand. Left arm opens out to the left. Guide the bent left knee all the way over and across. So if the shoulder floats up or if the knee or foot doesn't touch, it's okay. Right? Just use those exhales, long and complete, to release tension, physical, mental, energetic, even emotional, so that the body softens, the mind softens. There's a really sweet sensation of relaxing and letting go. You're totally in control. Notice the ability that you have with your breathing to manage things internally, to controlling the breath again, to control your body, to control your emotions, to control your mental state, to control your life, your experiences, what you're experiencing, how you're experiencing things. Feel free to sigh one out if you'd like here. And then when you're ready, you'll take that left knee back to center, to the chest. When you get to your back, you're going to have both knees back in. Beautiful. You can take the knees in a little circle in both directions if you like. Wiggle around the feet at the ankles. And then for just a moment, bring your nose to your knees, wrap your arms around your legs, give yourself a big hug and squeeze and tons of appreciation and support. Just conjure up that feeling of self-love. And then take a breath in. Hold the breath when you're full. Squeeze everything. And then let it all go. Open up. Come into a Shavasana shape. It might be soles of the feet together and knees apart for a moment if that's nice. You might just lay the legs out long. If there's any other movement you feel you need, feel free to do it. You can windshield wipe the knees a little side to side. You can just land and soften. Right? Nobody's looking at you. You can do whatever you want, but I'm going to strongly suggest that you take time in Shavasana. So even if you need to do something for 30 seconds or a minute, that's fine. Shavasana is arguably the most important and most potent pose in the practice. It gives us that opportunity to pause, right? To feel, to tune in, to let everything else fade off into the distance, which is so important in our lives, our busy, active lives, right? Just taking this small amount of time. We're only going to have 4 minutes left just to completely relax, to completely let go. So if you are in Shavasana and you haven't already, I'm going to invite you to take a long, smooth inhalation through the nose. Pause when you're comfortably full, and then you'll open the lips this time and just sigh it out or let it all seep out in any way you like. And then feel free to close the mouth or not. See if the breath can simply just flow through the nose. So sometimes, again, resting the tongue at the roof of the mouth helps to facilitate that. With the teeth separated and the lips open, it's going to help relax that low jaw. Soften all the eye muscles. Soften every muscle of your body. Imagine you could soften your brain and your mind as the breath now gets softer and smaller and more subtle. You can bring your awareness to it just to notice it without controlling it or changing it in any way. So that you can simply just witness. Coming into this witness mind, right? We witness the softening of the body, the softening of the mind, and the softening of the breath. And you can just simply ask yourself the question, who am I if I'm not my body or my breath or my thoughts, right? Who is this witness that's just observing it all? And in this way, we don't attach. Because everything is in flux and temporary anyway, and it's when we attach that usually we create some suffering. We have an expectation. Just observe. Just let go. Just give yourself this opportunity just to be without doing, just to relax completely. And I'm going to stay with you for another minute in silence. So please don't go too soon. I encourage you to stay just as you are, just where you are, before you bring movement into your body. Just notice. Notice the breath. Notice your body. Notice your mind. And take this final moment as well to just honor yourself for showing up here. It's not easy to be dedicated and motivated to practice yoga in the middle of a day or at home, right? So just appreciate yourself and then appreciate how you feel, right? The benefits that you derive from what you've just done for yourself. Knowing that you, in a way, filled your own well so that you do have more to give to the world and to others. And take a last breath in of appreciation and gratitude if you'd like.